USA Warrior Stories is a not-for-profit organization designed to record, archive, and share videos of veterans' stories, to help veterans make a connection with one another and to help us all better understand their sacrifices for our freedoms.
Wreaths Across America is an organization that is like no other. It almost touches every person in the United States at some level.
The mission is to remember, honor, and teach. What we give our kids that we've learned from the past is what's going to help them form the future.
It's important to teach not just the kids, but everybody.
We need to share that freedom isn't free.
Wreaths Across America started when my husband, who was in the wreath business, had too many wreaths.
We had about a truckload left over that year, which is about 5,000. I mean, we was trying to think of what we could do with them that would do maybe some good to some people. Thought about Arlington National Cemetery.
He's very patriotic. He just wanted to say thank you.
Out of respect for what we have in this country.
So it became a family tradition.
And it just struck a chord, I guess. It went around the world.
I remember when I started, there's only a few people. And look at the turnout.
It's the heart of the volunteer that makes our mission grow.
And I like to say we have a heartbeat in every community. It grows because of the patriotism that is still alive and well all over the country. And the foundation of this country was built on the lives of those men and women that we choose to honor.
My name is Joe Crowley. I'm one of the location coordinators here in Vero Beach for Wreaths Across America, and I currently live here in Vero Beach, been a resident for 6 years. Originally, I am from Massachusetts. I'm a retired career firefighter. I took part my first time ever in Wreaths Across America at the Massachusetts Veterans Cemetery in Agawam, Mass. during a blizzard. Was moved by all the people who came out in a blizzard to place wreaths on the veterans' graves, and my wife and I said this is something we wanted to be part of. The biggest honor I had was then when it came to my hometown in Ludlow, Massachusetts, was being able to place the wreath on my father and my grandfather's grave, and also fellow co-workers that I had worked with at the fire department who were veterans who had passed. So to me, that brought it home to me. Couldn't see not ever doing it again, couldn't see not being part of it, running it, sponsoring it, whatever it took. And then when we moved here to Vero Beach, we looked for a location to lay wreaths. And there wasn't any location here in Vero Beach. So I went down to speak to the Veterans Council here, the veterans agent at the time, and they said that they would have our back, but it would be up to us to raise the funds. And 5 minutes later, I ran into my counterpart in this whole endeavor, Rick Lewis, and the rest is history. Here we are 5 years later and running a very successful program here to honor and remember our veterans and teach the next generation about that. Son and grandson of a veteran. My father was United States Army and my grandfather was a World War II veteran in the Marine Corps. So I have come from a family of veterans, uncles, grandfather, father, but I myself am not. You know, it's just you're born and raised in a free country, but that freedom came from somewhere. And it was those veterans going back to, you know, our civil wars and our revolutionary wars all the way to our current wars that give us the ability to do and say what we want, but somebody paid the price for those freedoms. I think it's important to remember those people as well as to teach the upcoming youth on where this came from, because they seem to be missing some of that. And once you do this ceremony one time, I believe it's moving enough that you will look for a Wreaths Across America ceremony near you and you'll never want to miss it again. I mean, for a lot of us, if you have family who were veterans and you know they have passed on, it's a great time to remember them. I personally think around the holidays a lot of things get commercialized. And I like this, how it brings it back to the roots of this is family, these are your veterans. It makes you take a break from the hustle and bustle of the holiday season and just stop for a morning and remember these veterans and what they did for us. I think that was what's so moving about the experience to me the first time I did it.
My name is Rick Lewis. I have lived in Indian River County since 1971 when my parents moved us down here. I live now in Sebastian. I went into the Navy at 18, spent 6 years. Returning from the Navy, I landed a job with the City of Vero Beach Electric Utility, where I spent the next 30 years. Upon retiring, I went into another career, and that's where I ran into Joe Crowley. And he told me about Wreaths Across America, and I made a statement, well, it sounds like a pretty neat project if you need some help getting into the city of Vero, because we started at Crestlawn and Veterans Memorial Island. I said, I do have some contacts there after 30 years, and I could probably get us in. So that was late 17. By February of 18, we had all the okays and permissions and began raising funds for that first year. And December of 18 was our first year at Crestlawn and the island, and we laid 900 wreaths that year. Last year, volunteers put out between the US and Europe over 2.4 million wreaths. So that's 2.4 million veterans remembered and honored for their service. And that's 2.4 million times we can teach another generation where their freedoms come from. And I think the Europe part is very important when they expanded there, because we do have, especially from World War II, a lot of service members that did not make it home. And so they get to be remembered and honored also. And that is just, I think, is just one of the most fantastic parts of this.
The convoy will leave, the Arlington convoy will leave Columbia Falls, Maine, and it has several stops along the way in several different towns, so it's not a direct trip. It's also a teaching and learning experience as that convoy heads to Arlington. Thousands of other truckers who volunteer their time, trucking companies, independent truckers, will be volunteering their services to bring these wreaths across the country.
I'm Chris McDonald. I'm a driver with Central Transport out of Texas. I've been a volunteer for Wreaths Across America for 8 years, and we bring down 7,000 plus wreaths to deliver here in South Florida. And it's a pleasure to do it every year. It's an honor.
Jake Parks here with Coastal Van Lines Moving and Storage in Vero Beach, Florida. We're very happy to be here distributing the wreaths in Indian River County for Wreaths Across America.
Well, we got our first set of wreaths in, ready to remember, honor, and teach.
Well, nothing here is done without the volunteers. I mean, this is all private donations, and the laying of the wreaths is done by volunteers. Our first year, we didn't know what to expect because we were brand new. When we saw 150 to 200 people at the cemetery to lay wreaths, we were touched, we were moved. We knew this was going to work. These are all just local residents who know about this project. They come out to take part in the ceremony. Some are people here on vacation and have done it at home, and they see that it's going on and they come join in. We have some Boy Scouts and Cub Scouts. We have Civil Air Patrol. We have the teen group from the Boys and Girls Club, so we did try to incorporate some of our youth in the county to help out. And then other people just bring their kids and grandkids just to help teach them.
Our goal is always to remember and honor every veteran in Indian River County. So our fourth year, we all kind of doubled down and went out and pushed a little harder, and we attained that goal in our fourth year. And last year we were in every cemetery in Indian River County, and I'm very happy to say that this year we matched that goal, or maybe even surpassed it. And we will again be remembering and honoring every service member in Indian River County in every cemetery. It's always the third Saturday in December, and that was designated, I believe, in 2009 through Congress. It is National Wreath Day. And so this year it'll be on December 17th, and we'll ask the volunteers to come out and lay the wreaths. And it's not decorating. It's something that we try to stress, that we're not decorating graves here. This is a ceremony. We are remembering and honoring those that served. We're remembering these individuals for the sacrifices, for the time that they gave to their country, and we're honoring them for their sacrifices and that they performed. And we're trying to teach another generation about those sacrifices, so that they will understand where their freedoms come from.
This is an honor for me to come out here to remember and honor our veterans and to teach the younger generation why we're here for the veterans due to those freedoms. These wreaths are being placed to honor and remember these veterans.
James J. Barrett, U.S. Army, World War II, March 11, 1915, January 24, 1997.
William Barker, U.S. Marine, Vietnam. Lou Schultz, Jr., my firstborn.
Harry W. Tyler.
Lester A. Woodruff.
And then, of course, at noon, all over the nation, we'll have the ceremony. And this all corresponds with Arlington. So we'll do it at noon here. In California, they're doing it at 9 o'clock, and we're all doing it at the same time, so that we can really establish and remember those sacrifices, and keep these people and keep the veterans alive in our hearts and in our minds, for another year.
Across the world, I don't think there's a finer tribute to the veterans. I've been to Normandy, I've been to Arlington, we have family there. There's about 30 parks in Vero Beach area. This, in my eyes, is more than just simply a park. It's hallowed ground. It's our Arlington.
It is an important place here in Indian River County, because that is where we can actually honor those from Indian River County that didn't make it home. And it's grown since that initial concept. We can also honor those from outside through the Gold Star Mom Grove and each of the services. And it gives us a very, very unique and wonderful place to go to contemplate all the sacrifices given over the years from the service members, not only from Indian River County, but from the entire United States, and what it really means to have those freedoms.
Army Corporal Dale J. Goodlow. 3/27/77, 11/7/2010. Private Joseph M. Canalicchio.
Edward Troy Reynolds. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service.
PFC James Olinger, my brother, killed in Vietnam, 1966. Seems like yesterday. He was my baby brother. Love you, Jimmy. Miss you today.
please remain standing. I'd like to welcome Lieutenant Commander Stephen Bunker, Coast Guard retired, as he delivers us an invocation.
Left, face.
I am so proud and humbled to be here with so many veterans and their families and friends and my family. Especially proud to be from the state of Maine, where these beautiful wreaths spring from each year, and to follow them here to this humble place. Lord, give each adult here the energy, wisdom, and insight to teach the youth of today about the things that make America great and that freedom isn't free. God bless all Gold Star families for their sacrifice. Bless all veterans and their families, and God bless America. Amen.
The United States of America was founded on the ideals of freedom, justice, and equality. Our nation stands as a shining beacon of liberty and freedom to the world. We thank those who gave their lives to keep us free, and we shall not forget. Freedom is never more than one generation from extinction. We didn't pass it to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on for them to do the same. And today, we show a united front of gratitude and respect across the United States of America as we remember the fallen, honor those who serve and their families, and teach the next generation the value of freedom.
It is. Well, with the sanctuary, of course, it is where we do all the major celebrations for the services, Memorial Day and Veterans Day. And in Sebastian, they're their own little growing community. And Sebastian really is a unique community for this area. They keep the old fishing village atmosphere there. And they have their own memorial at Riverview Park, where they not only honor those that served, but also, in a way, the Merchant Marines through the Four Chaplains Memorial. So that gives them their own little piece of history and their own place to really remember and honor those that served. And that community up there is very, very veteran oriented. It's so much so that last year every member of their city council was a veteran. This is really a unique place. But this is my home. This has been my home my entire life. So this is my way of saying thank you to this community for all it does and for everything it's been to me through my years living here and being part of it. And it's part of my way of giving back where I think it's important to give back. And that's really the only explanation I have for it. The military in most places are dangers. There are dangers everywhere. And so I just wish them a happy holiday and hope they all return safe.
You know, at this time, wish everybody a happy holiday season, a safe holiday season. Let's remember those who are not going to be home this holiday season, those who are serving overseas, serving in country yet can't come home, and for those who never made it home. And to everyone, and to my first responder families as well, you know, keep it safe out there, and happy holidays to everybody. Thank you for your support here in Indian River County.